All right, this is the review for Part 9 of Mastery Test 3. Part 9 are rate equations, and we need to set up the letter equation, fill in the numbers, and then solve the problem. So for Part 9, letter A, when I read this question, what's the weight of 15 equal stacks of wood if 6 stacks weigh 270 pounds? So I'm going to identify my two units here. And I see that they are stacks and pounds. And the next thing I'm going to do is decide which one answers the question, what's the weight? Okay, so what's the weight? That would be answered in pounds. So I know that my equation has to equal P for pounds. Now, if P is in my answer, P is going to be on top of my fraction, which means stacks is going to be on the bottom, and then stacks are the unit that I'm going to multiply by. So there's my letter equation for this. Now I'm going to use my letter equation to fill in the numbers. So my fraction is the relationship between the two units. So I notice in the problem it says that 6 stacks weigh 270 pounds. Well, there's my relationship between the two units. So P is on top, so that means the 270 has to go on top, and the 6 has to go on the bottom of my fraction. And then I also notice that we have 15 stacks. That is what is going to go out front and multiply. Now, for these problems, you can use your calculator. So I'm going to go to my calculator here. And you can type it in just the way it looks right here. So we're going to have 15, parenthesis, 270 divided by 6, parenthesis. And then now all I have to do is hit enter. And it tells me that these 15 stacks are going to weigh 675 pounds. Okay, that's all that's to it. All right, so let's take a look at letter B. It says 100 cards cost $250. How much do 25 cards cost? Okay, again, I want to identify my two units, and it looks like my two units are cards and then dollars. So I need to decide which one of those units answers my question. My question is, how much do 25 cards cost? Okay, cost is going to be in dollars. So for my letter equation, I know it's going to equal D for dollars. And again, if D is in my answer, D is on top of my fraction, which means cards, the number of cards will be on the bottom, and which means I'm also going to multiply by cards. So again, I need to find the relationship between cards and dollars here. So the first thing it tells me is 100 cards cost $250. So there's my relationship. The 250 is the dollars. That's going to go on top. The 100 is the cards. That's going to go on the bottom. And then, you know, how many cards is it asking about? Well, it's asking how much 25 costs. So that 25 for cards, that goes out front. Okay, now again, you can just go to your calculator here and type these in. So I'm going to have 25, parenthesis, 250 divided by 100, parenthesis, and all I have to do is hit enter, and it tells me that those 25 cards are going to cost $62.50. Okay, go ahead and do C, D, and E on your own. When you're done with Part 9, get it checked. And then if there are other parts of the review that you need to do yet, you can go ahead and do those. All right, go ahead.